Hey, what's up, everyone? We are here back here. Going to take a look at some hard bases. These are very, very effective bases for some reason or the other. I've come across this alliance here called Hello World with exclamation point and then exclamation point upside down. No, two exclamation points. So Hello World with exclamation points, and their defenses for the most part have been extremely powerful and have always given out a lot of medals. You'll notice here this is what Matmoot is using, and this is a very, very strong base here. It's killed me a couple times. I've been able to beat it, I think, once or twice. It's a very, very effective base. He has a boosted ogre in there as well. Go and take a look here and show you why this is working out so well for him. So if you come across anyone with the Hello World, that alliance, for the most part, has been very, very strong and difficult. So they know what they're doing. So prepare for a tough fight when you meet any of those players. So you see his first initial wave right there is a couple of gargoyles and then a werewolf. His towers right there are doing a good amount of damage. They're high level towers. I think the first time that I died to him, I actually got hit by that snake tower up there on the top. His choke point over here works extremely nice with his mortars. His pyromancers are over there. And you can see we're taking a ton of damage from his firebolt tower. And we can't really move forward because if we would aggro that other wave from the side there. So great utilization of multiple choke points. Oops. And we probably are going to die right here. Yeah. You can see just nowhere to run, nowhere to recover. A great, great defense right there. Utilizing this choke point right here, this choke point right here, make this initial spot an extremely hard to get through position. And if you do get through that position, you may have wasted a lot of time healing up and recovering over there. So high level towers with a beautiful design makes for a very, very difficult base to run through. And again, so if you ever see anything over 500 medals, typically that means these bases are very, very difficult and a lot of players die on those bases. That's why it's worth so much medals. It doesn't mean that they're unbeatable. You definitely can beat the bases, but there's a challenge ahead. So, be ready to take on a hard, high-level base. Here's another one that was extremely effective. Kingsley Wei. So he's using spikes, which you don't see too much of. But what happens here is that this initial wave does a lot of damage. There's a couple of snake towers in there nicely placed. And in order to get past that with his high amount of wave points he has in troops, you really have to kind of like rush forward and sit over here in the corner. So I beat this base several times, but it took me a while to figure that strategy out. So we'll see if we can do that here in this raid. And again, if you do level up your hero or change out some hero gear, we are using all gold boosting right now. So if we put on some more like poison shield, we definitely wouldn't be as damaged going forward into this base. So what we found is that we have to kind of just rush forward up here to this corner and avoid all of the other towers and sit like right here, taking out these guys as soon as possible. And now we've unlocked a safe spot where we can just heal and we're not going to take any damage. Typically what we did is we wanted to come back and help out the cannons back here because this firebolt tower destroys all of your cannons. And if you kind of like didn't start like that and you had a different setup, you were typically gonna lose. And you can see right there the huge amount of waves with those gargoyles. Massive amount of damage they're done. Again, we're going to sit back and recover some. But now you can see our reinforcement cannons are on the way. We have 3 of them that have survived. So certain bases that may be very difficult in metals, like 500 or 600 metals, there could be a special secret trick to beating them. Like again, in this base, if we did any other setup in the beginning besides what we did, we would probably have died. And that is just trial and error, and that's figuring out what worked and what didn't work against this base. So unfortunately, we didn't get 100%. We killed the gate a little bit too quick thanks to the cannons all shooting, and that fireball tower stayed alive. But this is a great base right here. Kingsley Wei is a very formidable opponent. I think we'll take a look at one more base here real quick. I guess not. So that's going to do it. I don't have any other bases in here that were really worthy of mentioning, but a nice shout out here to Matmoot from Hello World and Kingsley Wei. Great job there. Those bases are pretty impressive and definitely kicked my ass once or twice before.